Hey guys, what's up? Well, final actual review for the Fender Acoustic 40 watt amplifier with dual I believe there's 6.5-inch speakers on this thing. Anyways, so we have two channels. We have both the same. You can go either XLR for microphones, so I have two mics in it, or a mic and a guitar, a mic and another instrument, whatever. Any combination you want, doesn't matter which side goes where, because each one has its own independent volume, bass, middle, treble, and reverb control on both channels. So massive upgrade from the Acoustic 15 for sure. But of course you're going to pay a lot more money. It's about I think it's $259 or $269 if I remember correctly. It's one of the two anyways. I'm in Canada, so Long and McQuaid, that's where I would recommend going, because you can also get the renewable performance warranty on these things too. Anyhow, as far as size goes, it's not very big as far as physical size. It's probably about 14, 16 inches wide. Probably closer to about 14 to 16. Anyways, measurements are no big deal. You can always check the link in the video description below for Long and McQuaid. Get all your info there. But I'm going to tell you a lot of it here too. So I've already done an in-house demo for you guys. And as much as I would have loved to do an outdoor demo for you, I got my first chance to do this outdoors today at church. We had an outdoor church thing going on today, and so we had actually two amps going. We had one of our church stage monitors that my pastor was using, and I was able to put my sound into her monitor because there's a XLR out connector on the back, and so you can go into another monitor or into your PA for your sound system, whatever. So I just went straight into her amp because she also has two channels on hers. So anyhow, so of course I have my mic in mine and my guitar, and it did an actually awesome job. Looking at the controls or my setups that I had going on. So for my guitar channel, I was up around 1:30ish, 2 o'clock. Our parking lot is quite huge, okay? And even though I had my volume up higher here, I did that in case I needed more. I could access that out of the guitar. So as far as guitar volume goes, the guitar volume was only at around 10 o'clock. Okay, so basically, what, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 out of 10, right? So I had lots of headspace left in the guitar to push through to the amp if I needed to. My microphone, on the other hand, was only up here around 10-ish, 9:30ish, 10. Of course, these are my EQ settings I was using for my voice, and the reverb. Reverb on the guitar was a little bit extra that I wanted. And of course, I pretty much run these at 12 o'clock anyhow for the guitar, and just use the guitar to blend the rest of it. I was actually thoroughly amazed. So was our pastor, and actually so were a lot of people. The fact that the sound got out really well. We have a really massive parking lot. Just as a rough idea of the width, would be somewhere probably around 170 feet by roughly 130-ish kind of thing, somewhere around that area. And anyways, so you could actually hear the sound. I actually stepped away from the amp when we were doing our setup this morning and testing out audio and stuff, and I took a walk back about halfway across the parking lot, and whether I strummed light or heavy made no difference. The sound was getting out good. My vocals were getting out fantastic. And of course you could hear, we live in the country, right? So sound travels. So I'm sure that a lot of Powassan actually heard us today during our service, especially during the worship time too. It was great. It was quite loud and quite clean too. So I'm pretty much sold on this amp, and yeah, now I just got to come up with the coin to buy it. I'm still renting it. I still have it on rental for, you know, the remainder of my 2 months. If I need to, I'll rent it for another month yet. But I got to save my pennies, because there's a few other toys that I also have on rental right now that I'd like to purchase too. It's just a matter of juggling which one's coming first and continue to rent the other one and then pay it off and so on. So, but if you're looking for something for indoor use in church size, so large church area, definitely outdoors, you can do some good stuff outdoors with this in a large area. No problems. This is definitely a great amp, and it sounds great too. The EQ is very sensitive. Like anything Fender, for some reason, you have a lot of mids and trebles. You do have some really good bass response because it is an acoustic amp. So of course it's going to have more response than trying to plug into a guitar amp. And I know I've seen a lot of musicians plug acoustic guitars into guitar amps, and you should never do that because it sounds horrible to start with. And that's just one of many reasons. Mind you, I do have an amplifier, the Boss Katana 100 watt 1x12 Mark II. It does have an acoustic preamp, so it can handle doing that sound and giving you that extra bass, mid, and treble access. But you should be using either something like the Katana or a actual pure acoustic amp that has a PA in it for your microphone stuff. It works great. I have no qualms about it. For under $300 for 40 watts of power, and you've got basically stereo power here. You've got your two speakers. It sounds great. It gets out there. I have no issues, and having that back access. Now, I don't know if I showed you this in the original video, but this is our access point, which is a balanced line out. So we just use an XLR to TRS cable, or, well, in our case it was an XLR to XLR, but I used a gender changer called an XLR to TRS. So we were able to get XLR to TRS because the amp that she was using is one of our, like I said, it's one of our stage amps, so it had the input for her mic for the headset, because we both have the TRS cables for that on the machines. But to get into her channel 2 to hear my amp through, so that everything broadcasted out even more so, this worked perfect. So your line out is line out to PA system, so into your soundboard, or into another amplifier to give it your full out stereo sound as well. Oh, excuse me guys, I almost sneezed. Whew. Anyways, so would I recommend this? Absolutely. Whether you're dealing with small gig areas like indoor coffee shops, or even just messing around in the house, it's great. If you want to disturb your neighborhood, by all means. If you're doing an outdoor gig where you're not trying to get over a full-fledged, massively loud, obnoxious band, you can mix very well with a not so obnoxious band, but still do large events outside like that. Definitely, it does work really good for that. It's not going to go out to, you know, like playing at the waterfront park and trying to get out to thousands of people. Might not be suitable for that sort of purpose. But definitely you could, if you had a PA and you mic'd it up, then you could do that, right? So it's lightweight, it's portable. It does not have any other power source other than regular hydro. So it's not a rechargeable kind of gig deal. If you're looking for something like that, well then this amp is likely not for you. But if you don't mind plugging in somewhere and you can have access, you're good. Now you also have an auxiliary input in this as well, which is the 1/8 inch mini jack, as well as your headphone is an 1/8 inch mini stereo jack. So you can have private listening through headphones, auxiliary input, plug in your phone, your tablet, MP3 player, old-fashioned CD Walkmans, or you know what I mean? Anything that can put sound through there that you can play along with your favorite backing tracks, whatever, you can do that too. Another thing, if you've already used up both channels and you still want to add in a beat buddy because you're a one-man band, all you need is a TRS 1/4 inch to TRS 1/8 inch mini jack, and you can plug, or mini plug, and you can plug into the auxiliary with that and run your beat buddy through there. Okay. Otherwise, if it's just, you know, your guitar and your vocals, you got the two. So, but if you wanted to add in something like a beat buddy because you wanted drums or a looper pedal, you know, for the beat part, if you've got beats built into your looper pedal, you could do that with the auxiliary in. There's a lot of different flexibilities you can do with gear. So, but anyways, as far as the star rating goes, I am severely impressed with this thing. So I have to be generous, but not overly like a kid at Christmas. So we're going to put it at 4.5 out of 5. Okay? And I think that's more than fair, because nothing, like absolutely nothing in this world is actually perfect. You know, so I wouldn't be concerned about that, you know, as a major ding, because just nothing's perfect that man makes, right? Or even robots. But either way, I think 4 out of 5 is definitely up there, definitely worth the investment. But you know, for the size of our church, we even have a huge sanctuary. If you go back on my channel, you'll get a rough idea of the inside size of our church. One of these days I'll have to do an actual video from the back of the church near our doors for our sanctuary to the front stage and play some stuff for you guys. You get an idea how big our actual sanctuary is. It is quite large. You know, you don't need a whole massive pile of high-powered equipment even in a church that size. It just kind of depends on how big your band is, what you're doing, that sort of thing. Definitely, this is something that I would take, you know, gigging with, whether it's being mic'd up or not. It can be mic'd up for very massive areas, so it's very suitable for that, or just unmic'd. The amp works absolutely perfect for doing stuff like we did today at church. We had no problem. Nobody had a problem hearing us, which was fantastic. And like I said, I don't have things up that high. The only reason the volume is high for my guitar side was I was able to get the extra headroom out of the guitar if I needed it. This way I don't have to try and stand up and, you know, go over or walk over to the amplifier and go, oh, I need a little bit more, you know. I can change that right from the guitar side. And the guitar was able to be set down rather low too, and everything balanced out. And it helps balance out your levels too, because you want to hear more of the guitar, less of the guitar and more of the vocal, you know, type of thing. So you need to balance your stuff out. Now, what I used for a mic, what she was using for a mic, is the same Sennheiser set you guys seen on my channel. These are preamped microphones, so they can put out a lot of power input, so you don't need to use a lot of this. And you can do cutbacks as well on the box if you find that, you know, you need to lower things and so on. I mean, it's kind of standard procedure there. So, go out, grab yourself 1, 2, 3, whatever, how many you want. Fantastic sound, really good, lots of EQ headroom for doing a lot of fine-tuning and adjustments to get things just where you want them for your vocals and your instrument that you're plugging into it. I know somebody's going to ask this, so I'll just get it over with. Can you plug a bass guitar into this without blowing it up? The answer to that would be yes, but not at very high volumes. But you could get away with higher volumes with a bass guitar on this amp than you would be able to, say, on a regular guitar amp, which would cook that guitar amp, definitely. Okay? Especially at higher volumes, you would fry the amp and the speaker with it. On this thing, it can handle a lot more of that, but I wouldn't push my luck too far because it's still not a bass guitar amp. It's an acoustic guitar amp, and of course used for microphones as well for vocals. So that's its main key focus. But it does have the ability that, yes, you could plug a bass in. As long as you're not going massively loud, you won't harm it. So that gets that over with. As far as a regular guitar goes, yep, knock yourself silly. You can do that. How it would sound, don't know. Haven't tested that theory yet. But, you know, it shouldn't sound too bad with a normal guitar because it's fine with an acoustic guitar, right? But anyway, that's it. That's all. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching and checking out this final review. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. And until the next time, see ya!